ちゃんどこ行ったのかな。思わず隠れちゃったけど、どうしよう。この全身をメダカに預けてる。あかんて。
What's going on, fam? Medaka Kuroiwa is impervious to my charms. This was episode number 3, and what an episode this was. Before I jump into the episode, though, there's a couple predictions I want to make. First off, I love that there's another girl who is charmed, I guess you could say, as well, or very curious about Medaka as well, too. It seems that he does carry some popularity. Now, I've said before, I think in episode 1 and 2, I don't think he's quite the good-looking MC that we're used to, but there could be something very, it's one of those things to where when you have art, and someone's drawing, what a character may look like and what they could potentially look like in real life, those things could be further from the truth, right? It's like you can only imagine what they would look like when you're going from a drawn, animated kind of thing to something that's real. So regardless, Medaka carries a lot of curiosity with him, and so much so that there's another girl here who really wants to see him. Now, it looks like she may be from a different school, so who knows if maybe he had in middle school or something, or in his past high school, maybe he had some kind of sports that he was in, or some kind of specific thing that he was a part of that got the attention of this girl. But she definitely came here to see him. And I really love that quite a bit. So a prediction is I think she will end up seeing him, and I think she'll see him with our girl. I think she'll end up, seeing Mona and Medaka together on that bridge, because Mona is ready to snap. Like, she is at her wit's end. And she's going to take him by the hand, and they're going to go on this love bridge and whatever. And I think that's when she'll finally see him. So that's my prediction for next episode, especially because next episode is called Legend with Him. So I know she's going to break. I know she's going to snap. She's been at her snapping point for this whole episode. So I know that that's what's going to happen. But now with this new girl, it's like, okay, how is she going to come into the mix there with all of that? And does Medaka know this new girl? That's also a question. Now, with episode 3, one of the other things that I said was like, will this show lose its charm also, right? Like, will its trope, or will the antics of the episode or of the show, will it lose its charm on us? Like, will the whole Mona going after Medaka and pushing boundaries and everything, like, will that get old fast? And I'm pretty happy to report that it didn't. I found this episode really, really funny. And I like that this episode is broken up into 2 halves, right? Pre-festival and post-festival, or pre-festival and during festival. And pre-festival was all about a build-up of Mona again going after Medaka, and her trying to clear up the, in her mind, miscommunication or the misrepresentation of her love for Medaka. Because this Tsubasa girl, this girl that she is partnered with, she's like, I hope you and Medaka get together. I wish you nothing but the best for you, Medaka, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, no, that's not the case. That's not the case. She's like, I don't love him. I just want him to be charmed by me. And it's like, okay, girl, like, you're saying 2 different things, okay? So the whole festivals all build up into her finally kind of like hitting her breaking point once again, and going like, okay, I'm gonna dress up as a cop, I'm gonna dress up as a teacher, I'm gonna dress up as a butler, F it, I'm gonna dress up as a risque, barely wearing anything bunny. And at that moment, that's when Medaka came into the room, and you guys saw the pre portion of that, this in the beginning of this video. But like, they come into that moment, and then her first thought when Tsubasa comes in is, get him into a closet. I don't want to be seen like this. And they have the breathing thing, and you have Medaka like he's like about to explode in more ways than one. And eventually, she kind of had a mini win at the end of it, because he was like, he heard her real voice, not her fake voice that she keeps putting on. He heard her real voice, and he's like, okay, you're cute, and he walked away. She's like, I won. And then the whole post, I keep saying pre and post, but during the festival, I love the time that they spent. I love seeing she took him on break, and they did balloon animals, and it exploded on her. She went to a concert, and he was having a great time, and she wasn't. They went to have crepes, and a freaking like eagle or like a bird or something came and stole her crepe, and he was like, "Oh, this is fantastic. This is great." So he was having a great time during it. They went to a haunted house, and she was like, "Ah," and he was like, "Oh, is that you?" He's like, "No, that must be somebody else." Like that stuff was it was hilarious. That those different scenes that they had there with them spending time, it was just her trying to push him to get closer and have a good time, and she ended up having an awful time because he kept winning in every scenario and she kept losing in every scenario. So I thought that was just hilarious. Those each little mini scenes, I was just having a ball, and I was laughing the whole time watching him. So it was just a really, 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 really fun episode, this episode. So I really enjoyed that, quite a bit and quite a lot. And then it all ended up leading where we started the video, which was her finally ended up at the bridge. And the bridge she learned about from Tsubasa, which was like, oh, this is the love bridge. This is where couples are made at this school. If you hold hands, you're going to be together forever. And that stuck with her. She's like, I would never come here. Like, I don't like Medaka like that. I just want him to love me, but I don't want to be loved. But this whole time she's been being charmed by him as opposed, because she's been having the flutters and everything. And he has too, which I really find funny. But it's just been different for her. So she finally ends up here at the bridge, and that's where we end the episode. A couple of anecdotal things too is I love how they keep sneaking in. Medaka keeps talking about how like, oh, this is how Tokyo is. I can't believe how Tokyo is like this. I can't believe Tokyo. And the whole time he's only having these experiences with Mona. And he hasn't put the two and two together that these experiences are not Tokyo, because he's not having these other type of interactions with any other girl, right? If it was like, oh, this is how Tokyo is, he would be having similar interactions with other girls in his school or outside of school, but he's not. It's only Mona that's been having he's had these experiences with. And if he just took a second to look, he can see that she's not having this experience or similar experiences or treating anybody else like him. It's very, so if he just kind of opened his eyes for a bit, he would realize that it's very much like siloed off, like all the things he's experiencing and that she's doing is very siloed off to just him. But I love that he is not smart enough, and he's just kind of like grouped it together. It's like, oh, this is how Tokyo is. And I really enjoy that part of it, because like, come on, stupid, so it's really funny stuff. So yeah, Medaka Kuroiwa, Impervious to My Charms, episode 3, fantastic, 9 out of 10 episode. I thought it did not lose any of its charms. I thought it did not lose any of its staying power. I thought it was just another fantastic episode. So can't wait to watch more with you guys. Next week is episode 4, Legend with Him, and I'll see you guys for that. All right, my friends, peace.